Many life advice videos have been made. You don't have the time to watch them all, so I will watch them for you. 5 unusual lessons I will be taking into 2024 and how to implement them.
So in this video, I wanted to share with you 5 of the most life-changing mindset shifts that I learned through it all and how you can apply them to your life.
Number 1 is the law of sacrifice. Here she explains a little bit of the Newton's third law, which is the law of action and reaction. So, like it happens to birds, in order to fly, they need to push the air down. And the same thing can be said for us. In order to thrive, we need to sacrifice something in return, like our time, energy, resources, etc. Number 2 is keeping it simple, which she says that both in business and in life, 20% of your efforts are going to drive 80% of the outcome. The majority of people overcomplicate things. If you keep it simple, you're gonna get where you wanna be. The number 3 is what she calls the 8 and 80-year-old decision perspective. She says that whenever you make a decision, you need to think if the 8-year-old in you and the 80-year-old in you would approve that decision, which are the two voices in your head. One make the decision rationally, while the other one just wants to have fun, and the two of them should be in accordance. Number 4 is recognizing the insignificance of it all. She says that nothing is permanent, which is about anchoring the image that you have of yourself on your personality instead of on the things that you possess. Number 5 is that when you stop learning, you go backwards, which is about always be changing and growing. So I think this video was really basic, but it was kind of good. So I'm gonna give this one 3 stars. 7 life lessons I wish I knew sooner.
So for those of you listening who aren't aware, Drew and I are both old. We're old men, we're old people. And there are many things that we learned too late in life. And so the goal of this episode is to share the life lessons that maybe we're a little bit too slow learning.
The first one is that people tend to respect you in the proportion that you respect yourself. People have this sense that they need to prove themselves. But this need of wanting respect from others just make people respect you less, which he says that confidence is actually about being comfortable with failure. Number 2 is that who you blame is who you give power to, which he says that every form of growth that you are going to have in your life are going to come from the ability to take responsibility for your current situation. So it doesn't matter if you got hit by a car, because you are still responsible for dealing with the consequences and how you're going to react to that. You are still responsible for waking up the next day and deciding what you're going to do about it. Number 3 is that the quality of your relationships will dictate the quality of your life. He says that it is important to find a community and commit to it. Find the people that you like and commit to them. So this is about making the effort to provide and to be real with those people around you. Number 4 is that people are not thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are. He says that whatever you do, no matter how ridiculous it is, people are going to forget about that 5 seconds later. So you could just be yourself and not care about what other people think. Number 5 is that nothing meaningful in life is easy, and nothing easy in life is meaningful, which he says that things that require no effort are not going to be good. And the fact that the best things in life are hard to achieve is what makes them great. Number 6 is that love occurs in proportion to one's willingness to get hurt, which he says that your relationships are going to be good if you're vulnerable in them, if you're not afraid to show your true self. If you close yourself to the relationship because you don't want to get hurt, the relationship wouldn't be good anyway. Number 7 is to be slow to judge. Everyone is doing their best with what they know, which he says this is a wisdom. He says that everybody's kind of clueless about what they're doing, as you once were many times in your life. So I think this video was awesome. One of the best ones that I've seen on the topic. So this is a 5-star for sure. 14 life lessons I wish I knew earlier.
14 lessons I learned after graduating college from the real world that I wish I had learned earlier.
The first one is that you make better decisions and you learn more when you assume that you are dumber than everybody else. You can't learn if you're talking, so you need to be able to listen. The second is that the hardest respect to earn is your own. First, you need to be able to take yourself seriously before you expect anybody else to do it. The third is that if you want to control what people think, you need to control what you say, which is about communicating in a clear way. Number 4 is that you get more out of reading one great book 5 times than out of reading 5 mediocre books. Number 5 is that most champions don't have something that you don't. but actually they lack something that you have. Claiming that successful people are saying no to things that you are saying yes to, so they are more focused. 6 is that goodwill compounds faster than money. 7 is that you are going to die, which is about taking the pressure off yourself and living the best life you can. 8 is that extraordinary accomplishment come from doing ordinary things for extraordinary periods of time. 9 is that if it's worth doing it well. 10 is being able to negotiate everything except your values. 11 is humility, which he says that the group rewards the person that gives more to the group. 12 is that a happy man has 1,000 wishes, while the sad man has one, which is about taking your happiness seriously. Only then you can achieve your dreams. 13 is that failure leads to learning. Learning leads to success. Success leads to complacency, and complacency leads to failure. And 14 is that he will pay any amount of money to make obvious truths real for him, which is about learning. So I kinda liked this video, but I feel like it wasn't really focused, so I'm gonna give this one 3 stars. 7 life lessons I wish I knew sooner.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So over the last 6 months, I have learned a handful of life lessons that I really wish I'd known earlier. And in this video, I want to share them with you. So here are 7 life lessons I wish I'd known earlier.
Lesson 1 is to not overestimate the value of headspace, which he says that productivity has a limit, and you shouldn't be trying to fill your free time. It's important to have the time to be in your head and relax. It's okay to not be filling your calendar every time. The number 2 is the power of mornings, which is about getting up an hour earlier and do the thing that you struggle with. Which he says that he was struggling to go to the gym, but when he decided to do that the first thing in the day, it worked out quite well. Number 3 is to define your constraints, which is about prioritizing the things that are most important to you. So you need to say no to things that are going to take your time away from the important stuff in life. Number 4 is about the last man standing, which he says that in the business world, the last man standing is usually the one that succeeds, while others quit too quickly. So the only thing that is going to make you fail is quitting, so just keep on going. Number 5 is to avoid optimizing away the fun, which he says that if you really want to be productive in one thing, you need to be having fun with it. In his case, he had a lot of fun doing his podcast, but after a while, he did it too much, and he lost the fun that he once had doing it. So he advises you to be careful with that. Number 6 is about recognizing dream moments, which are the moments that your previous self would have dreamed about. So you need to experience the experience. He mentioned that he got a spot to go on TV and promote his book, but he was so nervous that he couldn't experience that amazing moment, which he has always dreamed about. And number 7 is to put the journey over the destination, because the journey is the most important part. So I think this video was definitely interesting, and it was really nice to see his reflection about those stuff. I'm gonna give this one 3 stars. 7 things I wish I knew at 20.
I recently turned 30, which means my 20s is done. And damn, man, it feels like extreme relief. But taught me a lot, and that's what this video is going to be about. 7 things I wish I knew at 20.
Number 1 is that your 20s won't be the best time of your life. He says that the 20s are overhyped because of media. He says that the 20s is when you're broke, when you're scared, is when you figure out your trauma, so it's the time to grow. Number 2 is that you don't do things for you, but you do things for future you. Whenever faced with a decision, you would have to think, what does future me want? Your future will thank yourself for the work that you're putting in today. Number 3 is to assume that everyone's got shit. He says that you got 2 options. The first one is to assume that everybody's doing better than you and put yourself in a victim role, or you could assume that they are fighting a crazy big demon, just like yourself. You can assume that they are struggling too, and for most of the time, this option is what represents reality, because everybody has demons, everybody is struggling. Number 4 is that at some point, drugs stop being fun, which he tells you to be away from them. Number 5 is, don't stress if you don't crush this decade. People put a lot of pressure on themselves, that they need to achieve great things in their 20s, but it's okay if you don't, which he says that if you are too focused on the traditional success, you should split that into building up systems in your head to make you appreciate the things you got. Number 6 is hard choices, easy life, easy choices, hard life, which he says that if you choose the easy path, your life will become very hard. But if you pick the hard one, your life will become really easy, which he means that discipline equals freedom. And number 7 is that wherever you go, there you are. He said that he avoided himself. He avoided facing himself, but you need to come to terms with yourself. So this video was really awesome, one of the most real videos I've seen. I'll give this one 5 stars. These 8 laws from this book changed my life. The first law is to fill your 5 buckets in the right order. He says that when it comes to our professional success, we have 5 buckets, which are what you know, what you can do, who you know, what you have, and what the world thinks of you. He says that we need to fill them up in the right order. First, you acquire knowledge. Then you apply that on a skill. Then you grow your network. With that, you generate resources and later reputation. Law 2 is the ask, don't tell, the question behavior effect, which is about the questions that you ask yourself and others, because you will learn. By that, you can learn from others and reflect about your life. Law 3 is to always prioritize the first foundation. In here, he makes a nice analogy of a genie that comes to you and says that he's going to give any car of your choice. The catch is that that's the only car you're going to have for your entire life. So because you know that that car has to last a lifetime, you are going to take care of that car extremely well. Then the same goes for our body and mind, because we only get one of those for our lifetime. So we need to be extra careful and always keeping them healthy. Law 4 is that you must sweat the small stuff. This is about paying attention to the small details, being extremely careful with them. Everything is important, and the small stuff are very important. Law 5 is that you must learn into bizarre behavior, in which he says that whenever you come across things that you don't understand and that you are scared of, take the opposite approach and try to learn them. Law 6 is that you must outfail the competition. He says that when it comes to business, the way to beat the competition is to be running more experiments that they do. So if you take action not really caring if you are going to fail or not, you will learn a ton. And even though you might fail many times, you will get ahead of the competition. Law 7 is the power of negative manifestation. This is a trick for when you're about to make a big decision. You can skip forward and imagine what would happen if the situation didn't work out the way you planned. Then you gather the reasons why this thing might fail, and you work on them. Law 8 is the discipline equation, which he says that discipline equals the value of the goal plus the reward of the pursuit minus the cost of the pursuit. So I think this video was great, I liked the insights and it had some value. So I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. I wasted my 20s, 7 life-changing lessons. The first one is that you want to listen to yourself and not your parents as much. He says that you should go after the life that you want and not the life that people tell you to go after. Many times your parents don't know what is really the best thing for you. Number 2 is about building confidence. He says that he was not as confident because he was comparing himself to too many people. Don't compare your income nor your career path, so he tells you not to care that much about what other people think. The number 3 is that you need to get comfortable being with yourself. You might not always be in a relationship. He says that you could harness on when you're single and trying to grow as a person and work on yourself. He says that there's no rush to be in a relationship. The next lesson is to get away from your college town. He says that it's better to move away to build a new identity. If you stay in the same city, you're going to be hanging out with the same people. So you need to put yourself out there. The number 5 is to stop spending so much time on social media, which is a waste of time. And it's a terrible way to compare yourself to others and it's really bad for you. Number 6 is know that you don't know anything, which is about learning as much as possible. Lesson 7 is to take care of your body, which is to eat well and exercise. Lesson 8 is that time will fly by, which is about spending time on things that you like and things that will empower you. So this video was really basic. I think that there is some value in here, but it didn't have a huge impact on me. So I'm gonna give this one 2 stars. 8 steps to unf your life. Step 1 is to cleanse thy earthly vessel, which is about showering and taking care of your body. Feeling clean will increase your self-perception over time. Step 2 is to order the kingdom, which is about cleaning your room and your environment. The space you occupy is an extension of your mind. Step 3 is venture forth, which is about getting out of your house. We operate best with our feet moving, sun in our face, so go outside, interact with people. Step 4 is sweat. Working out will increase your energy, focus and mental health throughout the day, so go break a sweat. Step 5. Monitor thy treasury. Don't spend your money away. Check your balance daily and be in control of your finances. Step 6. Remove the hooks. What you depend on in order to operate on. Turn off your notification and cut out bad behavior and things that are stopping you. Step 7. Strategize. Nations rely on strategy to function, and so do you. Live your life with a strategy, because life doesn't get better on its own. You need to figure out the most effective way forward. Step 8. Submit. Submit to the things that you must do. Shut your mind off and don't overthink. Take a deep breath and do what you need to do. So this video was really nice and straightforward. I'm gonna give this one a 5.
I want to thank you very much for watching and subscribe to see more.